What's going on, folks? This is your boy Juan, puppet maker. This will be my first puppet. Now, the point of this video today is to show you how to make these little teeth right here. So they're made out of foam. I've been looking online on how to make these, but no one's been able to help me out. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make them, since this will probably be the first video on someone showing you how to make some foam teeth. So this is the outcome will look like. Hopefully it's good on lighting. Sorry for the horrible video taking the lighting or not. Just trying to get it, So this is basically just foam. Just cut up little pieces of foam. Put the light one over here. I'll cut up pieces of foam. You use different types of foam depending on the quality. I like to use this. This is actually a makeup sponge. You can get it for $3 to $4 in Walmart, 99 cents or not. It's more spongy, durable, and you can really just mess with it and it'll just, go back with this form. This is good for hiding the teeth and going down. You could also use regular half-inch foam. Joann's craft stores, they have it there. And so let's get started. So what you're gonna want is either some scraps of foam that I already use. As you can see, I have a lot, but what you're definitely gonna want is some scissors. I like to use these. I just bought these today from a 99 cent store. They're dollar professional quality manicure scissors. You can find them mainly in the female section for their stuff. It's like nose trimmers basically. You want to use those, or if you want, you can just use a razor. I first started using the razor and I found that I did good, but it was easier with scissors. You can trim out more. So basic thing you want to do is, as you can see, it's a triangle shape. So what I do is I always try to use a corner or start out with the flat part. So we're gonna use the half-inch first. So with this, you'd cut it with the razor, and you're gonna cut a triangle basically on the whatever kind of form teeth you really want. I usually go for pointed teeth. If you would like to trace it out with the marker, you can. I personally don't, but let's do that. So let's give ourselves. So we got that there, right? Okay. And then so I want our teeth, right? Okay. I think for me, I'm more of a visual person. I don't sometimes really need lines. Just cut it straight down like that, and just prop it right out. So you got a nice little triangle there, as you can see, right all around. Okay, now get rid of that. And first thing I do with, say if I'm using a razor, drop that, and I cut the corners. So the way I do it is I put it down, squeeze it, and I cut like a nice little slit in the corners, and it gives it like a curved, already gives it a curved look. So I'm gonna cut all four already, all four little corners off. Sometimes just by cutting the corners just all at once and making it round, what you're basically doing is you're shaping the foam. Alright, so there you go. Basically that you can use that already as a tooth. I mean, it's good. It's not perfect, of course. It's not gonna come out perfect all the time, but for the most part, as you can see, that you can just grab a pair of scissors and just trim out, where you don't like. Make a little rounder, if you will. But it's really easy. It's not too much. I don't see why no one has posted a video about it, but I figure hopefully this is gonna help some people, because I know I was looking forever, how do you make teeth, and if you go on the Puppet Workshop down on Facebook, a lot of people will help you. They'll give you advice, but they won't really show you, unlike here. So now you can see, right? You can see that it's nice and symmetrical. So with this foam, I don't like to use this foam because it's very flimsy, and when I cut it, it's not, it doesn't come out the shape that I want it, right? So let me toss that out. Not really a big fan of that type of foam. I like to use this foam. A person told me that it's just really good to hide the teeth, to be able to kind of just puncture it and it'll pop right back out. As you can see here, he has his teeth right on top, right? His two teeth right there, nice and solid. And I can close his mouth, and wide open it, right? See that? Comes out like nothing. So it doesn't do any damage to the teeth at all. Okay, so let's start with this one. This one, it's a bit thicker, depending on the thickness of your foam or whatever makeup sponge you're using. Of course, also whatever, I like to use the corners because they're already pointed. So as you can see, it's pointed from this corner, pointed from that corner, pointed from this corner. But if you use different corners, you're gonna get different shapes of teeth. So if you see here, say if I were to cut it like that, I'd get a more of a long triangle type tooth. If I cut it like that, I'd get a wider, yet not too fat of a tooth. And then if I use this one, I'll get more of a slimmer fang, if you will. So I technically like the fangs. I'm using fangs, that's all I've done. So as you can see, it's about an inch thick. I cut about a third of it, only because so I can shape the rest. So what I'll do is I'll cut the size off first. I'll cut the size that I want. So I'm using this one. You get a razor, cut the size that I want. And it's really dense, so it needs like you need to be careful and just patience. Be very patient, and it'll cut its way through. It's a very thick foam. It absorbs stuff very well. I mean, it's used for makeup, so I see why it's as you can tell, I believe makeup, girls like to put a lot of product into it, so it has to be very dense to where it can hold a lot of material. So there we go, just being patient and cutting it. It doesn't have to be straight because eventually you'll cut it through. Just you can see that it didn't come out so well, but I'm gonna use this side. Looks like it's already shaped the way I want it. As you can see that it's a little longer on this side though, so I'm gonna use this shape. Perfect. It's like this is exactly how you want it to look, for me at least. It's a perfect size and perfect shape. So what you're basically gonna do is now you're gonna shape it. So what I do first is I cut the third, because with that third, the outside of it, you're just gonna curve it in and give it its shape. So what we're gonna do now is just cut off that third right off, straight down, and just be gentle. Just wait until it cuts off, because it's very dense. I haven't found the right blade or scissors. I use a razor because scissors give it that jagged edge that you don't want, right? And then with this one, you can even just tear it off like that. So it's pretty good. So now we got that, and as you can see, it's kind of coming together slowly but surely. So now this is where, make sure you do this in an area or put like some paper down, because it makes a lot of mess. So now this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna grab the thing here, and we're just gonna start trimming. Let's just start trimming into shape. So as you can see here, it's kind of already round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start giving it that way and start cutting it like that. So I'm gonna cut this corner, right? Cut that chunk off. I think the one thing that I've noticed, and has to do with a lot of art too. It's called triangles. You see a triangle, you cut the tip basically. You see a nice sharp point, you cut it, and it gives it a nice round shape, right? So I'm cutting this nice and round. And for you those at home, I'm sorry, but it's slow. I don't have the best camera right now. I don't have the best, just winging it. Hoping you guys learn from this. So here we go. I'm just kind of, Cardenas SB. I see that it's sharp. A lot of people like the sharpness. To me, uh, I think maybe it's too sharp, because once you put the tooth in, you can see the imperfections all around. So what I try to do is just to imperfect all of it. You can keep it straight, but let me know if you find something to cut it good enough. So what I do, I just cut the little, edge, off right there. And cut the top also. The top, I cut it just like that. I'm basically shaping everything round. So I'm giving everything a curve basically. So I'm cutting that part off. As you can see there. And then what I basically do is I cut every single inch of the whole sponge all the way around, to kind of just give it a nice, make it look like a tooth, make it just curve in a way. Do that. I like to paint these, depending on the puppet. I don't like to keep them white, or I'll paint them white only because they'll get, you start touching them or something, they'll get dirty, and you can you can tell. Nobody likes yellow teeth, right? Brown teeth especially. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just kind of just cutting everything, forming it all the way around. Like I said, I've been looking up on videos, YouTube, how to make teeth, and not one video has shown me on how to make teeth. And people will tell you, oh, do this, do that, do this. But in reality, it's not as easy as someone can just tell you how to do it when you don't know what you're doing. So it's always, fancy to have someone let you know, like, hey, maybe this could work for you. So see if you have that now. It's not perfect, but usually you only want one perfect side. So this would be my perfect side right here. It's my perfect side right here because it's nice, it's shaped, it's it's pointy. The sides you can work on, and the back also. And also, before you put it on, you check it on your puppet. So I'm just gonna take my time here and kind of just do what I usually do. I can't. First time I'm doing it in front of a camera, so it's a little nerve-wracking. And get a little distracted and not do it exactly how you originally did it, right? So it's just you basically want to make every flat surface that you had, and you want to just rig it out and just make it round instead of flat. So you don't want to see any flat surfaces. Now, unless you want a flat tooth, I mean, by all means, cut it with the razor, make it flat, and I mean, there you go. You don't really have to do this whole process. This process is more of a detail. It has more detail to it. It has more work and all, and I think it comes out really, really great. At least for me, my teeth came out great, and I'm proud of it. It takes time. It's patient. Patience is a virtue, and I learned to deal with that for a very long time, and it's good. So there you go. See that? I'm gonna got a nice little tooth right there, and I still got a flat surface here, so I gotta curve all this out here. I haven't got it curved out yet. I will be posting more videos on little techniques that you don't basically see online. I probably will be posting another tooth video so you guys can see. And I want to give this one maybe a nice point, so I'm gonna cut it from one side more than the other. Alright, to give it that nice canine shape. So like I'm saying, just shaping, curving it out. And even if you're not experienced, I'm not experienced. I just started doing this today, and let me tell you, I made my 2 first teeth, and I was proud of myself. If you're good with your hands, if you love what you do, then put your head into it, and you'll get to it. So very nice, coming out good so far. Just trim that out a little bit more. And there we go. Got a nice tooth. I've noticed when you cut it horizontally, it's gonna give you a nice deep gap, right? Once after you're done getting your shape, go back and do it diagonal upwards, and then that'll give it it'll kind of start shaping out and get rid of all those sharp. It'll just even it out to make it a little more round and no more like craters on that. And then this part you want to edge out. Of course, you want to make it round. Like I said, I hope this helps you folks at home and you guys are enjoying this video. Please let me know what you guys would like to see, what you may think that I do know, what I don't. But for the most part, it's all done. I mean, I like the way it is. I like the shape. Like I said, it's not completely perfect. Let me, I said, do a little bit more trimming. Sometimes it's easier to run and cut one whole section. That way you don't get no uneven surfaces. And then that gives you a nice shape. And just have fun with it, clip it. I mean, I bought a whole bag. Like I said, the bag was like $4, and I got like 30 or 40 of it. I got like 30 or 40 of these things. So even if you mess one up and you get impatient, don't give up. I mean, you have a shitload, and you can keep trying and trying and trying. So there you go. Got myself a nice little tooth. All right, it has that little dent that I want it. Gives it. I can give it some more nice little better curve from back here. So I'm gonna cut it more from over here. Now the reason I found out on how to make these, I just saw a simple video. I forgot which one it was. It was the 1-day builds, right? And I love to cook, so when I'm looking up for recipes, people making stuff, I mix things together, or I focus a lot. I analyze everything, right? So I saw what he was doing, and I kind of just, I don't know, I took the tip of him using the razor, and I didn't like it, but I figured using scissors really gives you a nice, nice tooth. I mean, I don't know if you can tell that, or that's too much light, but there you go. There's a nice little tooth right there. Right there, see? Nice little tooth. Nice little thing right there. So now, on painting these, I would suggest airbrush. If you have airbrush laying around, that would work. Fortunately, I don't own an airbrush, so I'll just grab a piece of paper, one of these sponges, right? So this one I already used it this morning, so I'll just grab this one. You want to use acrylic paint, really anything, any kind of paint will work. Not that cheap paint. Let me see if I can find a nice color. I'm gonna paint this tooth yellow. I don't really use or like yellow, so that's why it's not open. Okay. Really don't need that much, just a little bit drop. And this is what you do. What I like to do is get a little piece of foam, like a nice little foam block, get a pin. So you get a pin, you stick it to the bottom, up top. Okay. Make sure it's nice and in there. And then you get the tooth and you stick it right under the tooth and into it. Okay, now don't. Okay, and it gives it like a stand. It's like a stand, so you can paint all around it and not have to worry about any white spots or any spots that you miss. And whenever you're done, you can just let it dry. I let mine dry in front of a heater so it could dry quicker. Seems to work. So as you can see that, so it's nice and up there. See that? So now get the little sponge that you got, dip it in the paint, dip it lightly, not too much, kind of rub it out a little bit, and then kind of just dab. It's a dabbing and just move it around process. You want a little wet, but not too much, not too dark. But you want to make sure you don't get that white circumference in there. You want to get that out of there. So you want to get it wet, nice and even, and just start painting it. I mean, you can use a brush if you want. I don't suggest using a brush only because I did use it, and it's just the brush holds a lot of paint and it makes it very wet. And you got to think about it. This is a makeup sponge, so it'll absorb all of it, and it'll take a really long time to dry. You'll always have paint on there, and it might not dry until like tomorrow. So there you go. Got that going on here. I should have put gold teeth on him instead of green. I like the green, but maybe I'll repaint them gold. Love making puppets. I just started. This is my second one that I'm building. I built one, and I really wanted to give this one teeth, give him more life. So here we go. So we're getting some nice contrast, a nice color in there, nice and wet. You don't have to be too gentle, but not too rough either, because you don't want things to fall off and get on you. You might have to coat it twice depending how much white is left over on certain areas, or if you use a wet coat. It's okay to do it wet, just not too much, because like I said, it will sink in for a while and take a while to dry if you put too much. But it's okay if you're trying to cover a white area that you can't really get into. So right now I'm kind of doing it a little wet in the front because I see too much white. Kind of just spreading it. And if you touch it with your fingers, paint starts to come off. So there you go. You got a nice gold tooth. I think came out pretty good if you ask me. Put that on your puppet, whichever one you want, and there you go. Got a nice tooth, nice. Of course, you let it dry. Like I said, I let mine dry in front of a heater. And then now, the good thing about it, you just leave it like that. You're not touching it. You let it dry. And there you go. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next video I will be uploading I will be showing you folks on how to get these little ostrich feathers inside of here, because you can tell they're all individually in there, and it's not something, a technique that someone will show you. It's something you're gonna have to learn. I learned it on my own. No one taught me how to do this, so I just took a whole ostrich string and started putting it apart and sticking it in there. But I'll be showing you guys how to do that later. So thank you for watching.